The Brys has returned. What's up, guys? Guys, time the Brys is officially back. I know it's been a while, almost a month, since the Brys has had an episode here, but I'm back, so welcome back to the show. As you can see, I'm wearing my Aiden Hutchinson jersey today, so I decided to wear that to obviously talk about the NFL draft this past Thursday, or last Thursday, Friday and Saturday. It was absolutely amazing. I went only on day one, but dude, it was unbelievable. I'll talk more about that as we get going here. But yeah, it's great to be back. Great to have the headset on, talking to the microphone, chit chat with you guys. And it's been a while, but we're back. Guys, time to Brys is May 1st. First of the month, new month. It's a beautiful day out here in Michigan. I hope you guys are enjoying your Wednesday so far. But yeah, we got to talk about the NFL draft. We got to talk about some boxing. We got a big fight coming up this weekend. Canelo Alvarez in action. You got UFC 301. Alexandre Pantoja defending his title. That's going to be an interesting matchup. And then obviously next month, June, we got a whole bunch of UFC pay-per-views going on there. And then we got to talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs. Obviously, it's been crazy. It's always a crazy time. I said it on this podcast before, and I'll say it again. In terms of playoffs, the NHL has it all figured out. They know how to do it. It's the best format, in my opinion. It's just so exciting. You never know what's going to happen. So we got to talk about that as well. And then a bunch of other things. But yeah, I want to do an episode today, talk about the NFL draft, my experience, my time being down there, along with the 275,000 plus people on day one, which is an NFL record for day one of an NFL draft. The Detroit came out strong. We kicked ass, and we brought the whole damn army, and we killed it, man. I knew Detroit was going to be strong. They were going to bring all the people out. We were going to have big numbers, but 275,000 people, man. That's insane for one day of the NFL draft. And then for the total weekend, it ended up being 775,000 plus people, which blew Nashville when they hosted a couple years ago out of the water. They had 600,000 for the weekend. So Detroit came out strong. It was an amazing experience. Let's talk more about it. But yeah, like I said, it's good to be back here on the podcast. So yeah, the NFL draft coming to Detroit this year. NFL draft 2024 live from the Motor City in Detroit, Michigan. I was part of history along with my cousin John Brys, and I'm very grateful that I was a part of that history. It was just it was a beautiful day. I mean, the sun was out, a little chilly, but you know what? The sun made up for it. It was just great to see all those people. I mean, people are coming from everywhere, you know. They're coming from different states. They're coming from, you know, different parts of Michigan. You know, I saw a lot of Dallas Cowboys fans. Of course, you're going to see them everywhere because they have a fan base, right? Saw Green Bay Packers fans, obviously. Saw Minnesota Vikings fans, Chicago Bears fans. Saw some Atlanta Falcons fans as well. So yeah, it was crazy, dude. So many damn people. It was unbelievable. One of the best experiences of my life, and to have that opportunity to go down there and be a part of the NFL draft, you know, being right there. Me, my cousin and I, John Brys, shout out to him. We had great seats. We got there just in time because they reached capacity, so we were held up for a little bit there. I was getting nervous. I'm like, oh man, you know, are we gonna make it? But at the same time, I stayed calm, cool, and collective, and sure shit, we made in just in time. The draft started. We booed Roger Goodell. The intro was amazing. You know, you had Roger Goodell come out. Everyone was booing him. I was booing him as well. You know, you got to, right? It's tradition for the NFL draft. You got to boo the commissioner. And then Eminem came out, you know, going crazy, hyping up the crowd. And then you had Barry Sanders, Detroit Lions legend, coming out. And then you had Calvin Johnson, another Detroit Lions legend, coming out and hyping the crowd. It was unbelievable. Crazy experience. One of the best experiences of my life. I know I said it before, and I'll say it again probably 1,000 more times on this episode tonight, but it was not, that experience was nothing I never experienced before. I mean, it really wasn't. It was once in a lifetime. It was different. It was crazy. It was something I never thought I was going to be a part of. I mean, yes, you all know I'm a football fanatic, and anything dealing with football, NFL, college, whatever, I'm all for it. But the NFL draft, for it to be here in Detroit, Michigan, man, that was awesome. And it was great to see everyone. You know, there was so much things to do. My cousin and I, we missed the whole, you know, game day experience thing where you can play all the games and stuff because, you know, there's so much to do downtown. It's big. It's, you know, it's crazy. just so many things going on, lots of people, so many attractions. You got all the food vendors, excuse me, out there. You got, cornhole bags, but then near Hart Plaza, that's where all the Detroit Lions experience, fan experience, games, and, attractions were over there. We missed that because we were just amazed as how big and how eventful the NFL draft was. I mean, Detroit did a great job setting that up. So congrats to Detroit. They deserve it. It was awesome. And like I said, one of the best experiences of my life. So yeah, got an article here on ESPN.com. Eric Woodyard, excuse me. Yeah, the title is Detroit breaks NFL draft attendance record with over 775,000 fans. And that's for the weekend. And then day one, as I mentioned before, was 275,000 fans in attendance. I was part of that. So to be a part of history, something I'll never forget for the rest of my life. And to share that moment with my cousin John, I mean, I tell you what, that's awesome because, we got to spend a lot of time together, catch up. Obviously when we were younger, we hung out a lot more. He would come over here and hang out, play video games, watch sports, go to water parks, whatever. But then obviously we got older, we kind of drifted apart a little bit. He had his life, I had my life. Some things happened, and then, the past couple years now, I think we've gotten a lot closer. And just being with him and spending time with him, that was awesome. And to share that moment, going to the NFL draft with my cousin John, something I'll never forget. So John, I hope you had a great time, man. It was awesome for me. Something, like I said, well, great experience, something I'll never forget, and something I never will be a part of. I don't think I'll ever be a part of something like that again. I mean, it was awesome, man. It really was. Just seeing Eminem and Calvin Johnson, Barry Sanders, and even Bob Seger made an appearance too, man. It was crazy. But being in that crowd and, either cheering or booing draft picks, or being in awe of draft picks, like when the Atlanta Falcons selected Michael Penix Jr. in the first round with their first overall pick. That was crazy. I couldn't believe that. But Caleb Williams getting drafted first overall. I booed him, obviously, going to Chicago, right? That's our division rival. And just being a part of that experience, being a fan, and just, I watched the NFL draft many times on TV, but now to be a part of it, going downtown and making a day of it with my cousin, it was awesome, man. So, yeah, Detroit did very well. They killed it. They knocked it right out of the park, as per usual. We could work our asses off here in Michigan. Detroit is the Motor City, blue collar. They brought the whole damn army and then some. And I knew that was going to happen just because of how the Detroit Lions ended their season last year. Should have went to the Super Bowl. It is what it is, but you know what? They had a great season. I'm not complaining. Now, they missed the Super Bowl. The next goal is to win the Super Bowl, not just go to the Super Bowl. I think that was their goal this year. You gotta win the Super Bowl. I mean, that's the goal now. I mean, that's all I'm gonna say. They have to take care of business, and I know you guys saw that post yesterday. I said the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl this season, and I'm not pulling away from that. I'm gonna stick to my guns. The Detroit Lions will be the Super Bowl champions this season. Take care of business, boys. So yeah, with that being said, you have Amon-Ra St. Brown signing an extension. I know I mentioned this a couple weeks ago. Penei Sewell signing a big extension. So 2 top players for Detroit Lions staying in the Motor City. We needed that. So if that's not motivation enough to win the Super Bowl, I don't know what is. So, this guy having a great season last year. Now he's got to kick ass this year and stay healthy. But yeah, unbelievable experience. And like I said, if the NFL draft goes to another city, I might go just to experience it in another city, because experiencing the NFL draft here in Detroit, it was awesome. So yeah, I'm glad I was a part of that. Hopefully you guys, some of you came down and either Thursday, Friday, or Saturday for the NFL draft and just enjoyed the time being down there. I went on day one because that's when the high draft picks are going to get drafted. But yeah, so many people, man. 275,000 people for day one of the NFL draft. New record, man. But yeah, Detroit was going to do that. We take care of business here. So being a part of that, something I'll never forget. So you had that going on. Now we got to actually talk about the draft. The Detroit Lions, who they select. So obviously, if we traded up, we had a 29th pick in the first round. We traded up. I think we traded with the Dallas Cowboys. We got the 24th pick, and we traded up to get defensive back Terrion Arnold from Alabama. I think that's a great pick. Our defensive back depth chart, it's big now. A lot of big names. You got Carlton Davis. We got him from free agency from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and then we got Amik Robertson. We signed him from the Vegas Raiders, and now we got Terrion Arnold, defensive back from Alabama, and then you got Brian Branch, defensive back from Alabama. You got all these guys. Melifanu, he's coming back. He had a great season last year, so that secondary is looking pretty good. I would love to see the Lions possibly get another edge rusher to help out Aiden Hutchinson. But it is what it is. I'm not complaining about it. It's an Alabama guy. I trust Brad Holmes. And Brad Holmes we trust, baby. That's how we roll around here. So we got that in the first round. Second round, we got defensive back, another defensive back, and that's Rakestraw Jr., and then we got an offensive tackle in the fourth round, and then a running back / safety, Sion Vaki, defensive tackle in the sixth round, and then a guard in the sixth round. So yeah, Detroit Lions, man, they're building that team. I mean, they're winning. They're winning the Super Bowl. They're building this team to win the Super Bowl. Nothing less. I mean, they were so damn close last year. They should have won. Had a 17-point lead against the 49ers. Let it get away from them. And that, I think a lot of that comes from inexperience, but they're ready now. So, yeah, we'll see what the Lions do this year. Hopefully they take care of business. But like I said, they're going to the Super Bowl. So you got that. So, yeah, the NFL draft, great experience. One of the best experiences of my life. I'll never forget it. So you got that going on. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully some of you went down there and enjoyed the festivities. It was awesome. So, with that being said, now we got to hop over to the NHL. We got the Stanley Cup playoffs. These playoffs have been crazy. We had 4 games on last night. The Predators winning 2-1, so that series is 3-2. Still Vancouver. So Vancouver trying to edge it out, trying to move on to the next round, but the Predators will not die. So you got that. Colorado taking care of business, 6-3. They eliminate the Winnipeg Jets. The Hurricanes taking care of business, win 6-3 again. Another same score. Against the Islanders. The Islanders are out. Hurricanes are moving on. And then the Maple Leafs winning 2-1 against the Bruins. 2 original 6 teams. The final in overtime. So that series is Boston 3-2. So Toronto not going down without a fight. So yeah, some good games on last night. Hopefully you guys were able to watch some games. And then tonight, 7:30, you got the Vegas Golden Knights and the Stars. That series is tied 2-2. The Dallas Stars have won the last 2 games, I do believe, so they're not going down without a fight against the defending Stanley Cup champions, the Vegas Golden Knights. And then you got tonight's game, 10 p.m., Edmonton Oilers and the Los Angeles Kings. Edmonton's up 3-1 in that series. The Oilers look pretty good. So yeah, 2 games on tonight. Watch some Stanley Cup playoffs. It's gonna be awesome. Like I said earlier in the episode, when it comes to playoff format, NHL knows how to do it. So you got that. Now we got to hop over to boxing. I mean, like I said, this is the most I mentioned boxing ever on the podcast. But since I've been training boxing, I think it's, I have to. I feel like I have to for sure. And I've been watching more boxing since I started training. I watched that Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia fight. That was fucking crazy. I couldn't believe what I was watching. That was insane. Ryan Garcia put on a performance of a lifetime. He deserved that win for sure. Too bad he couldn't make weight. He would have won the title, but you don't make weight, you're not going to win the title. That's how it is. So that was a crazy ass fight from a couple weeks ago. And now this weekend, May 4th, Vegas, you got a title fight between Canelo Alvarez, one of the greatest of all time, going against Jamie Munguia. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that last name right. I'm probably not. Usually bad at those, but it is what it is. 12 rounds for Alvarez's super middleweight undisputed championship. That's going to be a good one. Check it out this weekend. Fight's probably going to start like late, probably 11-ish. I don't know. Boxing's weird like that. So yeah, May 4th, this weekend, check it out. Canelo Alvarez in action. It's going to be a good one. And then you got the big heavyweights going at in a couple weeks. May 18th in Saudi Arabia, you got Alexander Usyk going up against Tyson Fury. 12 rounds for the undisputed heavyweight championship. That's going to be a good one as well. And then obviously July 20th, they announced it yesterday. It's an official professional fight between Jake Paul, YouTube sensation, against one of the greatest of all time, Mike Tyson. That's a professional fight, so win, lose, or draw, it's going to go against their record. So that's crazy. Obviously, that's going to be a big event. It's the same day as my brother's bachelor party. I'm sure we'll have it on just to watch it, see what happens. It's crazy, man. You know, they're both going to get paid at the end of the day. It's all about money, but it would be funny if Mike Tyson knocked him out. I would laugh my ass off if that happened. So, but yeah, this weekend, check out Canelo Alvarez, his fight. It's going to be a good one. And a couple weeks, you got Usyk going up against Fury for the undisputed heavyweight championship on May 18th. So that's boxing for you. And then, as always, nothing's changed. I know I've been away for a while, but nothing has changed here on the Guys Time with the Brys Sports Podcast. We got the UFC as our last topic we have to discuss. So UFC 301 this weekend, 10 p.m. Alexandre Pantoja defending his flyweight title against Steve Urkeg. Never heard of him. He's 12-1. I was surprised too when they came out with that. But Pantoja is a beast. He's a savage. Took care of Brandon Moreno, and Brandon Moreno is a savage too. He's taking a little break now. I think he deserves it. The guy's a hell of a fighter. So yeah, you got Pantoja defending the title against Urkeg, and then the co-main event, you got Jose Aldo coming out of retirement. I do believe this event is in Brazil, so it makes sense. He's coming out of retirement, going against Jonathan Martinez, so that should be an interesting. Can't speak. That should be an interesting one there. Anthony Smith is in action. Michael Pereira in action as well, and then I don't know all these other guys. Yeah, but yeah, you got UFC 301 this weekend, so check that out. And then yeah, like I said, once we go into June, June 1st, Saturday, June 1st, UFC 302. It was announced about a month ago, maybe. Islam Makhachev defending the lightweight title against Dustin Poirier. That's going to be an interesting fight. I said last time Dustin Poirier was going to be in trouble against Benoit Saint Denis, and Dustin Poirier proved me wrong. That guy knocked him out, and he looked great doing it. But now you're going up against a world-class athlete. You're going up against a champion. You're going up against a Khabib 2.0, in my opinion, in terms of grappling and wrestling. And Dustin Poirier is he's had his struggles against world-class wrestlers and grapplers. So it's going to be an interesting one. But I really hope Dustin Poirier wins. He deserves it. He's been a legend for a long time. He's been at it for a long time. He deserves one title reign, or one championship around his waist before it's all said and done. Hopefully he takes care of business June 1st. So you got that. Sean Strickland is on this card. He's going against Paulo Costa. So that's gonna be an interesting fight as well. And that's really it. I mean, all these other fights, don't really know what's going on there. You got a couple fight nights, and then another fight night Saturday, June 22nd. You got Robert Whittaker going against Khamzat Chimaev. That's gonna be interesting there. And then you got UFC 303 Saturday, June 29th. The return of the notorious Conor McGregor. He's back in action. He's going against Michael Chandler. This has been in the making for almost over a year now. So it's coming to reality in a month. Almost 2 months, so hopefully it still goes on. But as of right now, Saturday, June 29th, we're going to see Conor McGregor going up against Michael Chandler. That's going to be crazy. It's going to be interesting to see how Conor looks, how he competes against a world-class athlete, Michael Chandler. But that's going to be a crazy-ass fight. So yeah, like I said, June, with all these fight nights coming up for the UFC, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, we got fight night, UFC 301 this Saturday. Check it out on pay-per-view. It's going to be a good one. And then, yeah, UFC 300. That was crazy. Max Holloway knocking out Justin Gaethje, the hardest hitting 155-pounder in the lightweight division. Knocked him out with 1 second left. Man, when Max Holloway points to the center of the octagon, you don't throw hands with that man. I mean, he's done it numerous times, and his opponent hasn't gone well for his opponent. But yeah, he knocked out Justin Gaethje with 1 second left. That was fucking crazy, dude. I couldn't believe that, but that was awesome. and UFC 300, great pay-per-view. Glad I was able to watch it. But yeah, definitely a great pay-per-view for sure. But yeah, all these other fight nights coming up. It's going to be a good summer, as usual, for the UFC. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining me on this edition of Guys Time at the Brys. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. I got the jersey on, so that doesn't go away. We talked about sports. That obviously doesn't go away. Football, Stanley Cup playoffs, boxing. I'm talking more about boxing now than I ever did on the podcast, which I'm very thankful for, because training boxing, it changes you. It really does. So you have that. And then UFC, we round up with UFC most of the time here on the podcast. But thank you again for joining me. As usual, this episode's going to be available on my YouTube page, Guys Time at the Brys. Check all my other episodes out there. And then the audio version of this episode is going to be available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Just type in Guys Time at the Brys, and I will be there. I'll be there, ready for you to listen to me and talk about sports and enjoying the day. So with that being said, thank you so much. Once again, guys, you're amazing. Thank you for joining me today. Have a great rest of the week. Check out this episode and enjoy the weekend. You got the Kentucky Derby too. Watch the Kentucky Derby. Place a bet on a horse. My family does it. We do it every year. It's tradition. It's going to be awesome. So I'm going to bet a horse, and hopefully my horse wins. So yeah, you got that as well. All right, guys, take care. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and you guys are awesome. Peace. The Brys is out.